Hello, I'm Roger Sheley, rangeland weed ecologist with the Agricultural Research Service in the Eastern Oregon Agricultural Research Center, and I'm here to present an Eastern Oregon Ag Minute. Remember the movie Twilight Zone? I like the opening where two guys are driving along singing and they begin playing, "You Want to See Something Scary?" Well, you know how that turns out. I had a similar experience the other day. I was driving along Highway 20 in town, just sort of singing along, and I saw something real scary. I saw two very serious weeds that need to be killed and removed from Harney County. They're oxeye daisy and Dalmatian toadflax. In other areas throughout the West, these two weeds are as serious as the knapweeds and medusa head. This week, I'm making the plea that you do what you can to keep these weeds from invading Harney County. So this week, I'll talk about what they look like and what you should do about them. So prepare yourself. You're about to hear something really scary. As a weeds guy, I'm always intrigued with the array of plants I find in my salads at fancy parties and restaurants. I swear most of them are weeds. I kid my family by saying, I'm not a vegetarian because I love animals. I'm a vegetarian because I hate weeds. One in particular that we can keep from invading Harney County is oxeye daisy. I'm alarmed when I see it growing in the flower beds in town, since I know it can easily invade and ruin our meadowland. This weed has a large daisy-white flower and a yellow center. And I know you're thinking, this can't be the daisy in my flower bed, but I'll bet it is. It's flowering right now. It invades and dominates wet meadows just like ours. Since I've only seen it in town, the best thing you can do is ask landowners with oxeye daisy to remove it and plant something else that's not so dangerous to our environment and economy. Young leaves of oxeye daisy have been used in salads, and now when you go out to fancy dinners with your friends, you can discuss the seriousness of this ingredient. If you're eating weeds in your salad, chances are they have it in their flower bed. Dalmatian toadflax is another scary weed that appears to be on its way to dominating the land in Harney County. This invasive weed was brought to the U.S. as an ornamental, used as dyes in fabrics, and occasionally taken as a folk remedy for various ailments that probably would go away anyway. This weed soon escaped from gardens to infest farmland, pastures, and rangelands across the United States and Canada, displacing native plants, livestock forage, and wildlife habitat. This weed is becoming out of control in Harney County. This plant is 2 to 3 feet tall with yellow snapdragon type flowers. I'll bet if you look out your window right now, you'll see it. This year it seems to be everywhere. I think it's increasing. To me, that's real scary. Yesterday I mentioned that I hate weeds. I think a real opportunity to protect our land is present right now. A Russian philosopher said, love, friendship, respect will never unite people as much as hatred for something. I propose that something be Dalmatian toadflax. This week we are discussing oxeye daisy and Dalmatian toadflax, two serious invasive weeds that threaten the ecology and economy of Harney County. There are many things you can do to help in the fight against weeds. Educating your neighbors and friends about the seriousness of the problem is very helpful. If you're bold enough, asking people with land that has either of these two weeds to remove them is great too. Your local weed management cooperative and your county are working hard to fight invasive weeds, and anything you can do to support them or lend a helping hand would be great value to the community. Volunteering to serve on the weed board and becoming a leader in the fight against weeds are all important and valuable contributions. Most of all, if you have these weeds on your property, be sure to control them before they go to seed this year. Today I wanted to tell you about an overall effort to protect healthy, uninfested rangelands from becoming a weed mess. Here at EOARC, we are promoting the concept of weed prevention areas where people get together to keep their land free of weeds, rather than try to remove them once they invade. In my view, 95% of the land is weed-free, and 95% of our effort should go towards protecting these areas. It's been estimated that for each dollar spent on prevention, we save $18 in weed management. If you're interested in providing leadership in your area to put together a weed prevention area with your neighbors, please contact me at EOARC. Robert Louis Stevenson says, "Don't judge each day by the harvest you reap, but by the seeds you plant." I say, don't judge each day by the harvest you reap, but by the weeds you kill.